To set up the TriCaster 40 for live broadcast events, you have to make sure that you plug it in, have the network cable plugged into whichever venue you're at, bring it into the back. You have a VGA connection that goes to the monitor that works on top of the TriCaster. There's also an HDMI connection that you'll use for the announcer's program monitor. And then you have some USB connections, one for the regular computer keyboard and one for the actual video switcher. And then there's another one for the mouse. Now, the other important connections are the RGB connections coming in for actually the component feed. So they're Y, PB, and P. I forget what that is there. But basically, you have three cables. It's one cable with three connections coming from each camera, and they're plugged in sequentially. And then you have the audio comes in with a 1/4-inch jack into the microphone input, and then you have a headphone out that will go into feeding the splitter that goes for the actual announcer headsets. Or if nobody's doing announcing, you would just have a headset for the director to monitor the sound. And you can see here we have a mixer that brings in the different sound sources. Now there's usually at least one for a crowd mic, and that's run up. And of course, the cables will run up to the cameras. Once everything is powered up, and you should be able to see the camera sources on the preview monitors. You have a preview larger monitor to preview the preview bus. I'll talk about that in a moment. And also the program output, which actually goes for everything. And so you can see there are sources. There's 2 rows where each source is duplicated vertically. So camera 1 comes in the first column, 2, 3, 4, etc. We have network sources, which we don't normally use. We have a digital disc recorder if you're playing back video clips, and 2 still graphic photo sources. And then we have a program feed, the preview monitor feed, and we also have some effects that we can send out. You can either use the mouse to click on sources, change what goes out to the program feed or the preview feed. You can actually use the keyboard. I believe the top row, the function buttons, are actually for program, and the second row with the numbers is for preview. You have to play with that. But the best thing to do is when you have hooked up the video switcher, because then you've got buttons that lets it change. So if I change from 3 to 1, the picture will change. So here I'm changing 1, 2, 3, and that's on the program feed. So remember, program is what goes out. Don't get it confused with preview. Here's preview. Of course, preview right now we can't see anything because we have a graphic overlaid. So you can see there is downstream keyer 2 and downstream keyer 1. So if we go down here to this controller, we can turn it off by going to background, or we can go back with downstream keyer 1 or downstream keyer 2, which at this point I think we have the same source coming in, so it won't change. But so that's how you will change graphics, and then you can go into the actual source of the graphics. Here you can see there's graphics 1 and graphics 2. There's also the audio mixer. So if you have problems with the levels coming in, click on the audio mixer. You can see the single source coming in, make sure it doesn't distort. And you can see the program feeds going out, including the streaming feed and also the master if you were recording to an output from it. To set up recording for an event, click the gear next to record, name the event, and then click close. And then before you start streaming, go ahead and hit the record button, and that will start recording as a backup from the live feed. And then when you're done recording, just click the record button to stop it. To set up streaming, click the gear, call up this window, and it should take us to this 2017 YouTube. If we go ahead and hit this arrow here on the left, it will show us the details. You want to make sure that the stream key is set up correctly based on the one that's been set up on the live feed. So here is the stream key. You want to make sure that matches what you have when you've set up your event. It shouldn't be changed, but if for some reason it's not working, that's where you have to double check the stream key. Once you've got that, you can close this window, and then in order to test it at YouTube, you have to actually press the stream button. Where is that at? Here we go. So we turn the stream button, and what that does is just send the stream to YouTube. At YouTube, using a laptop or another computer, making sure that you have it set up. About a minute after you've started streaming from the TriCaster, you should see that you're getting the feed. And that means that great, you're sending it out. And then when you're ready to start the actual live event, press the Go Live button. At the end of the event, you'll turn off the Go Live button to end the stream, and then you can stop streaming on the TriCaster and start shutting things down.